Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Five. It's Stav,
It's Griff.
And it's Will.
and today we're going to be recapping World Series Game 4. We had a historic event take place there, and we're going to go over our predictions for NFL Week 9. What do we say?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting things started off here in Philadelphia as the Houston Astros have pulled one out at Citizens Bank Field, 5-0. And not only was it 5-0, Stav, the Philadelphia Phillies have officially been no-hit in the World Series. A combined no-hitter amongst four pitchers. Just an absolute crazy change in events, I guess you could say, after winning on the 1st of November 7-0. I mean, it was a home run parade. Going on to the next game, not only like not hitting a home run, not scoring a run or anything, they didn't get a hit in general. Stop that. I mean, almost unheard of. What are our opening reactions to, something that's happened like this?
Well, if I'm on the Phillies, I cannot overreact. Obviously, baseball is real. Like we always say, basketball is a game of run. Baseball is as well. Like you have to embrace the highs of highs, and you have to get rid of the lows of lows. This is obviously very embarrassing, especially the fact you got no hit in a World Series game when you're supposed to be the best of the NL. However, if I'm the Phillies, quick memory, like you have to have like a quick memory. You can't remember that this happened. Like I think they end up playing today again. It's a new game. It's a new day. You just got to bounce back. You have no other choice other than to bounce back. And they're still home. They still have that huge crowd behind them. And I guarantee once they get that first hit in Game 4, the crowd is going to be electric. Like I think it's going to be similar to a repeat of Game 3, where the offense produces and the pitching really doesn't need to do much. And I still think Phillies in 6, if I'm being honest. It took the Astros one insane inning where they had bases loaded and they got hit by a pitch and a sac fly and like a double or something. And that scored all their runs the entire game. They didn't really play well outside of that one inning. I mean, pitching was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. I don't know. English is tough. But you really didn't play awfully defensively if you're the Phillies, aside from that one inning. So you have to bounce back. And you just have to kind of like take the lid off the basket. I keep referring back to basketball, but it's very comparable. Like just get the lid off the basket. Hitting is contagious. Once one guy gets hit, the next guy is next. And I really do think the Phillies are going to be fine. I just think that this was a hiccup and they're going to get rid of this quick.
Right. And I mean, going into Game 5 here, series tied at 2-2. This is the last game at Citizens Bank of the year, no matter what. I mean, you go into this Game 5, this is a must-win game, because if you don't win this game, then you're going to have to go on the road, winning Game 6, and stay on the road and go out and win Game 7. You got Syndergaard on the bump tonight against Verlander. It's going to be a good matchup. Syndergaard's a guy that he's been around for so long that to the point where I'm not scared of this matchup. You know what Verlander is going to bring, but Syndergaard, I mean, with the energy that he brings to the mound, matching up with the energy in Philadelphia, I think is very good to kind of end the season at home with this matchup. It's really going to come down to the bats tonight, and I think tonight's the night that you have to do it. And you have Phillies in 6, Stav. I think that if they don't get it done tonight, then this series is pretty much over and it's in the Astros' hands. I just don't picture Philly going into Houston with two must-win games, win or go home, and getting it done. It's almost impossible to do in the World Series. And Philly's been doing close to the impossible, but at some point their luck is going to run out. They have to win tonight or I think it's over.
Tonight's the biggest game of the year, in my opinion. I think tonight's the biggest game of the year for the Phillies. Like, obviously, they just got hit last night. Tonight, they come out, hit the ball, and win the game, and they blow the top off the ball, and they put up big numbers tonight. This series is nowhere near over. This just basically just punches Houston right in the throat with a big win tonight, because no matter what they do, obviously, Phillies hit the ball, they can't score, they win. Houston comes back, they lose the next game. Houston next game throws a no-hitter, they come back and hit the top off the ball. That just shows that the Phillies can do whatever and match the energy of the whole series.
Whoever wins this game is going to win in 6, in my opinion. I really think that the series is going to be ended in 6 games. It's just do or die because tonight, obviously, the Phillies have, like you said, Syndergaard on the mound against Verlander, who Verlander really hasn't been historically good in the World Series. I think he has a 6-something ERA. But
yeah, and it wasn't that great in game 1 either.
It's still Justin Verlander, though. Like,
Yep, exactly.
If I'm a Astros fan, I trust Justin Verlander on the bump. But with that being said, he could very well just absolutely blow this game, and then you have to go win 2 in a row. Although you have to do it at home, which is easier. But the I really don't think Houston is a home field advantage, if that makes sense. Philly's home field advantage is way different than Houston's. I've said this episode in and episode out. Like, Philly is one of the last home field advantages that we have in the MLB.
Right, and talking about how Philly is a real home field advantage and Houston is not. How about we switch over to the NFL world? And on Thursday night, we got Philly versus Houston at Houston, and it's the same case. I mean, when you look at Philadelphia and you look at the Houston Texans in NRG Stadium, there is a big difference between these two ball clubs. And Philadelphia, we're getting right into predictions here, guys. Philadelphia favored by 14 points against the Houston Texans on the road. The over-under set at 44.5. Philly 7-0. Houston 1-5-1. One of the only teams to have a tie this season. Will, get us started here.
I got Philly minus 14 in the over. I think Philly absolutely demolishes the Texans tonight. Brandon Cooks isn't playing for them. He's clearly been upset. I believe that came on the news today about him not getting traded at the deadline. I think this ball club's an absolute mess. Philly destroys the Texans tonight on national television.
And you said the over?
And the over.
Okay.
Don't let the kids watch this game.
Stop.
I'm telling Will's picks here. I don't see a world where the Texans even come close. The Philadelphia Eagles, this is a scheduled win for them. You know, they're undefeated. They're facing the worst team in the NFL, in my opinion. You win this game big. And I also have the over here because I think that Philly puts up 40-something themselves.
Yeah, I mean, why don't I just tell the both of you guys? I'm going to go with the same. Philadelphia has been an absolute wagon all year, and not only just as a ball club, but against the spread, which good teams win games, great teams cover the spread. 14 points is a lot, but when you see this is the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. 14 points. I think Philly wins by 21, maybe 24. I'm going to take the over as well. I think that early in the game, Houston's going to try to establish the run with Dameon Pierce. It's not going to work. They're going to have to get the ball up in the air. Davis Mills is going to be throwing the ball. It's going to lead to a few interceptions. I think that Philly might put up 40 by themselves. So I'm going over here. I love Philly in this game. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video. And I want to say we're going into week
9.
9?
Mm-hmm.
We're going into week 9. How do we like Amazon Prime on Thursday night? I want to come up straight up and say that I actually hate it. I
think it's such an inconvenience.
And I'm a guy that I will watch streams of games. I'll literally go on my laptop. Even if I have cable in the living room, I'll go on my laptop here, and I have a TV right behind me too. I'll go on my cable provider's website and stream a game. But when it comes to Amazon Prime, and especially when it comes to the NFL, if I'm watching a primetime game, that thing is on cable. I want to see it as soon as I can see it, and I don't want any issues with the quality, with buffering or anything. And my Wi-Fi is good, but every here and there, there's a little point in time where even if the screen gets a little fuzzy, I get pissed off. I want to see football in clear action. And Amazon Prime, no matter how hard they try to do that, it's not going to work because you can't control everybody's Wi-Fi. I love cable when it comes to primetime football, but when it's Sunday and I have 4 TVs going, obviously I'm streaming on 3 of them, but primetime's a lot different. Primetime is you want the action as soon as you can get it, right when you can get it, and in the best quality, and the best way to do that is cable. I don't like Amazon Prime Video.
The idea is there, right?
It is.
You have 2 good commentators. I think Kirk Herbstreit's getting a bad rap here. I like him when he commentates college football, and I think he brings something to the table when it comes to Thursday Night Football, and Al Michaels is a legend. Whenever you think of Al Michaels, you think of a big game. And I just feel like Amazon Prime isn't giving the viewers the experience of a big game when it's on their streaming platform, right? When you see the score bug, it just looks like it's artificial. It looks like a video game. And it doesn't feel like there's much hype around Thursday Night Football.
Agreed.
I feel like in the past, even when because it used to be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the calls for Thursday Night Football, that felt like awesome. Like ESPN Monday Night Football is great when it's Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, but Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit are getting a bad rep because Amazon isn't making them look as good as they actually are, in my opinion, personally. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
I think it's kind of an inconvenience, honestly, just logging into Amazon Prime to watch one game a week. Like, I'd rather just go the same place I go every single Sunday to watch, and Monday to go watch the same.
And I'm paying money monthly just to watch this. Like, I think the only other thing that I've watched ever on Amazon Prime was like a TV series like with my girlfriend. And that was like this past summer. I don't think I've watched anything other than that in my whole entire life on Amazon Prime. So like I'm paying monthly literally just to watch 4 games a month.
And the other thing is like it's not even like the Thursday Night Football game quality has been there this year at all. Like I don't think we've had
the games have been terrible.
We haven't had a game where we're like, wow, that was a good Thursday Night Football game. I think
the Chiefs and the Chargers was a good game.
It was a good game.
That was a good game. That was week 2 though. We're on week 9.
Yeah, like every week other than week 2 has been like not a great matchup.
Well, also I think the NFL just does a bad job scheduling games.
Yes.
That's
not 100% on Amazon Prime. That actually has nothing to do with
this has nothing to do with them. It just adds to the point that sucks that you have to pay money to watch 4 games a month and it sucks.
Last week too, the last 2 weeks were fine in my opinion. Week 7 was the Cardinals and the Saints. That was a pretty good game.
I didn't like that game at all. I didn't like that game at all because it was all that game was literally just all the Saints being terrible and it had nothing to do with the Cardinals.
Last week it was an okay game too. The Bucs.
Last week it wasn't bad, but Tom Brady sucks. I'm sorry, Tom Brady. We'll talk about the Bucs soon. Do they even play this week?
Yeah.
After, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Bucs soon, but Tom Brady sucks and so do the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
I'm pissed off at a lot of NFL teams, so we're gonna hear it today. Yeah. But how about we move on to the next game? The hometown team at home, New England Patriots favored by 5.5 against the Indianapolis Colts. Will, how about you get us kicked off here?
So I want to start things off as this is my lock of the week. And in my opinion, I think this is actually a must-win game for the New England Patriots. They play against, obviously, the Colts this week, then the Jets next week, and then they have 2 big games. Obviously, I think they play the Vikings and then the Bills. So they need to get their wins where they can take them, and especially against this Colts team, they should be able to get the win. So I have them minus 5.5 and the over and my lock of the week.
All right. I'm going to go with New England as well. Sam Ehlinger didn't do too much in his first game with the Colts. I'm expecting him to be the starting quarterback again. I'm pretty sure that is correct. Mm-hmm. But this is a classic Bill Belichick game where he's not a rookie, but I mean, Bill Belichick is going to beat up Sam Ehlinger. He's going to do everything he can. The Patriots, what I love about them is how good they are against the run in situations where they know that the other team is going to be running the ball. And goddamn well the Indianapolis Colts are going to be running the ball. So, I mean, in overall commitment, I think Judon has a big game in the run game, not in the pass game. He's been fantastic in the pass rush, but I think Judon kind of showcases this might be the start to his little all-pro kind of campaign throughout this year, showing that he can do it in the pass and the run. The Colts, a great running team. This is actually a great matchup for the Patriots, but I'm going to take the Pats here. I'm going to take the under as well, and I like Ramondre Stevenson to get into the end zone for sure. It's not going to be my prop because I feel like it's too obvious, but I think this is going to be a big running back game here.
Well, Griff, I don't know if you saw this, but Jonathan Taylor's missed his 3rd straight practice this week. He's projected not to play on Sunday. So,
hammer.
I love the Patriots minus 5.5 here. I assume the line is going to change once the news is official that he is out, Jonathan Taylor. And I have the under as well. It's one of those games where the Patriots are just going to kind of settle back into their identity, right? We want to see them pass it, like short run the play actions, establish the run with your 2 running backs. Damian Harris has also missed some practices this week. We're missing David Andrews this week and Marcus Cannon as well. So it's going to be a little iffy. I bet it's going to be sloppy at times, I have the Patriots minus 5.5 here. I also have the under. But Griff, I'm going to double your touchdown prop. I have Ramondre Stevenson getting in the end zone twice this week.
I like that. So that's your official prop, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah,
running
because
back
I was
prop.
thinking about putting him in twice, but I have a few other names that I'm going to get to later in the episode. But how about we move on here to a little NFC North matchup? I actually think this might be one of the better games of the week between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Green Bay on the road is favored by 3.5. The over-under is set at 49.5. Stav, I'll kick it right back to you. Who do we like with the spread, and how many points are going to be scored in this game?
So it's about time that Vegas actually values the Packers as what they are. Because how many weeks in a row did we see the Packers favored by over a touchdown?
I
And
know it was
in
nuts.
double digits.
And then, I mean, they went and played the Bills last week and
they covered.
Miraculously covered. It was insane. They had no business covering in that game.
Exactly. But this is my point. They're finally favored by what they should be favored at 3.5 against Detroit in Detroit. I'm going to bring up a few stats here. Detroit allows like 40 points a game at home or something for whatever reason. It's just fast field. I love the Packers minus 3.5 here, but I like the under too. I like the under set at 49.5. We saw the Lions got rid of TJ Hawkinson, which he's Jared Goff's security blanket, right? We whenever they need to move the chains, he hits him. DeAndre Swift has been limited in practice. We're going to see a lot of Jamal Williams, who's more of a physical back. That's why I'm picking the under, but I have the Packers minus 3.5. This is a must win. I'm kind of telling what Will said about the Patriots, but this is for the Packers. This is a must win. You have to beat the Detroit Lions if you even want a chance at competing for a playoff spot. I don't think that they're going to win the NFC North. I think it's the Vikings to lose, but this is a must win for the Packers if they even want to be competing for a 7th seed.
Well,
I mean, I agree. I'm going to tell you I believe you picked the under as well, but I have Green Bay minus 3.5 and the under. I think this is a perfect game. Like I said about the Pats, this is a perfect game for the Green Bay Packers to win. I mean, you have to take your wins where you can get them. This is a team that you should easily be able to beat no matter the state of the Green Bay Packers in this given moment. I know they're currently struggling a little bit, but they're kind of finding things every now and then. This should be the game where they should start finding things, start testing things out a little bit if they can to see what they can do for the rest of the season. We're about, or we can say we're at the halfway point of the season now, where they need to start looking at what they're going to be doing in the postseason, because the Vikings right now are the head of that division, and it doesn't look like it's going to change.
No, you're very right. And Green Bay is a team that, I mean, everybody just expecting going into the season, everybody thought they were going to be good. They thought they were going to figure out the wide receiver situation, and they thought that wasn't going to hurt them as much as it had. Kind of just a blind look through because they have Aaron Rodgers, but the team's terrible. I mean, the team sucks. They're not built around the way that Aaron Rodgers plays. But I mean, just looking at this game solely, Detroit, I mean, is an absolute dumpster fire. They've won one game. The one game that they have won was at home, but I mean, they've lost 3 other games at home, so it's not like that's any certain trend. I'm going to be taking Green Bay minus 3.5 here too, but I'm not going to be riding with the under. I'm going to go the over, and that is because of the trends. The over has hit in every home game that the Detroit Lions have played this season. I'm going to just guess that that's going to continue to happen. I did a little research here. I'm going to continue to believe that the over is going to keep hitting at home. And that's not only has the over been hitting because they've been putting up points, it's because they've been, I mean, throwing out absolute touchdowns to the other teams. They've just been handing them wins at Ford Field. So, I mean, I think Green Bay wins this by at least a touchdown. I like the over in this game. I think Detroit puts up some points. I think it's going to be a pretty good game, though. I think it's going to be one of those games that we see on Red Zone a lot just because there's a lot of touchdowns. That's the way that I see it, but you guys have the under.
Yeah, I don't blame you for picking the over. The trends, how I look at it, the trends always die, right? Like every single week. And I mean, we're halfway through the year officially right now, and it's got to end sometime soon. So that's kind of my reasoning behind that. But shall we move on to the next game? We have our Los Angeles Chargers in Atlanta facing the Atlanta Falcons. The Chargers are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Griff, what do you say? What do you got?
I mean, we don't have any wide receivers. We only have a running back. Our quarterback doesn't have ribs in his body, like, at all. That's, like, actually really doesn't have any ribs, Will. I don't know. Did you hear about that?
No.
No. But I mean, the whole team is injured. The whole offense
yeah.
is injured. The whole defense is injured. But it doesn't matter. Bolt up. I'm going Bolts -3.5 in the over. I mean, Marcus Mariota running his Oregon-styled offense. I mean, no match for Coach Brandon Staley and the analytical genius behind him. So I'm going Bolts. They improved to 5-3 after this week, and the over. I just think that Justin Herbert scores 4 touchdowns. I think that Marcus Mariota runs in for 1. That's on my prop pick. Marcus Mariota, anytime touchdown score. He's going to run 1 in.
I got the Chargers -3.5 and the under. It's the good old Oregon QB battle on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually have Eckler scoring 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
I think he's going to carry the whole offense on Sunday. He's going to go 3 touchdowns again, back-to-back weeks. Well, they had the bye.
Both quarterbacks, Oregon alum, Rose Bowl winners.
Yep.
All right, boys. I'm going to fade you with the spread. I got the Falcons +3.5. I believe Cordell Patterson is coming back this week, which is huge for that Atlanta offense. For the reasons that you literally said, Griff, the Chargers don't have any receivers really.
They don't have anybody.
Herbert playing injured. Their secondary's beat up. The Falcons coming off of a nice win.
Line's beat up too.
Yeah, and the Falcons coming off of a good divisional win. They're in first place in the NFC South. They stayed at home for this entire week. They didn't have a travel week. The Chargers got to travel across country. I got the Falcons +3.5. I have them winning outright as well. And I have the over in this game. I think it's the shootout in general just because of the 2 high-powered offenses.
I want to get you guys' input here. I have both Herbert and Mariota on my fantasy team. Who do I start this week?
I also have both of them. So who?
It's actually kind of a toss-up. Mariota's been pretty good.
That is kind of a toss-up.
I'm sticking with Herbert right now just because if PJ
I would stick Herbert.
If PJ Walker can tear up the Falcons secondary, I have full faith that Justin Herbert can. So,
you got it, right? Yeah,
I'm sticking with
Herbert. He's just going to dump it down to Eckler the whole game.
But Mariota's ranked the 8th quarterback in all of fantasy right now. Herbert 14.
I also wanted to say Justin Fields is ranked number 2 in the last 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he's been playing really well, especially because he has a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah.
Geno Smith. Oh wait, no, we haven't talked about this. Sorry.
But let's go to. Hey, you said Geno Smith. Let's talk about his 2 former teams. Oh, I don't think he's played for the Bills. Has he played? Damn it, that would have been dope. But his the team that drafted him, is hosting the best team in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills. The Bills are going to the Meadowlands to face the New York Football Giants, and they're favored by 12.5 points on the road. Over under set at 46.5. William, what do you like in this game? Tell me.
I like the Jets +12.5 and the over. I think this is an absolute trap game for the Bills, for the spread at least. I think the Bills are going to win this game, but they're going to probably blow them out. But I still don't think they're going to cover. 12.5 is a lot of points, especially against the Jets. The Jets are still considered a good team. They're still good. I think this is the week. If they lose bad this week, then I think they teeter on that line again. But until further notice, I think the Jets are covering the spread.
Yeah, I just noticed that I was wearing a Jets sweatshirt today. I actually literally had no idea. But I guess I'll just go Jets because of that. I mean, but for real, it's a lot of points. 12.5 is a lot of points. We saw Buffalo have a double-digit spread at 10.5 last week. They only covered by 10. And just to your point, Will, New York isn't considered a good football team. They are a good football team. I mean, they're 5-3 right now. They're hunting for the playoffs right now. And I mean, the bad part is Breece Hall has been hurt. Michael Carter's here to step up. James Robinson is also here to step up. They got some reinforcements. I'm not saying that they're going to win this game, but I think they put up a good amount of points. And if they put up a good amount of points, then they're going to be just fine with 12.5. I'm going to go New York plus 12.5, and I'm going to take the over here as well. I think that this is going to be a nice little shootout at 1 p.m. in New Jersey.
Boys, I got the Bills -12.5. I think that this is the same old Jets, if I'm being honest, right? Their defense is good. I'm not taking anything away from that defense because the defense has talent from the defensive line all the way through the secondary. Sauce Gardner's a top-tier rookie. He's going to be a top-tier corner in this league for a very long time, in my opinion. But with that being said, Buffalo still has too many weapons for the Jets to cover. And not only that, they just picked up Nyheim Hines, who's a great weapon out of the backfield for Josh Allen. I think we're going to see him get utilized a lot this week. And it's just one of those things where the Bills own the Jets, right? And we expect the Bills to be the best team in the NFL. And I think that this is another week that they prove it. And I don't trust Zach Wilson to put up a good amount of points to even cover against the Bills, right? Because last week we saw him just absolutely shit the bed, right? They had a lead. They could have went up 17-0, whatever happened with a roughing the passer and whatnot. But the Jets had plenty of opportunities in that game, and Zach Wilson couldn't do anything, right? And I think the Bills are a way better team than the Patriots. So if they can't do it against the Patriots, then how can they even come close against the Jets? Against the Bills. So I got the Bills minus 12.5, and I have the over as well. I think that the final score is probably going to be 35-14.
Excuse me if I'm wrong, but not only do you have Buffalo, this is your lock of the week.
This is my lock of the week. I can't believe I even forgot about it. I didn't. I'm just so confident in it that I don't even think it needs to be mentioned. Yeah, I got Buffalo minus 12.5.
Okay.
And
all right.
I just love it originally. You want to know what's crazy about this is I looked at the spread. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of points. And then I started thinking about it, right? Like I'm sitting in one of my classes, right? We're not doing anything important. And I'm just sitting there.
This wasn't the class you took an exam in?
No. The class I took an exam and I listened to church and was on the way because Jesus Christ himself had to come down and bless me for me even to pass this exam. But that's besides the point. We're talking football here. Football is the only thing that's on my mind. And I was thinking Buffalo's 4-2 against the spread, right? And they've had a very tough schedule up to this point and they've succeeded. So I think that they continue to succeed. And I think that the Jets, this is the start of the decline of the New York Football Jets. However, I would have the Jets plus 12.5 if Breece Hall was playing.
Fair. And I want to say 5-3 for the Jets right now. Let's end the season right now. Let's just mark this off. This was a successful season for the New York Jets. 5-3.
Yeah, they have something to look forward to next year when Breece Hall
returns. If they lose every game from here on out, it's still a successful season. 5 wins. 5 wins is good for the Jets.
Yeah, they can be like, all right, we have something to build on.
5-3 at one point.
All right, hold on. Question: If they, Griff, we'll build off of your scenario right here. Hypothetically, they don't win another game for the rest of the year. They move on from Zach Wilson, right? You have to. You draft another quarterback. You have a high overall pick.
Quarterback. This is a deep quarterback draft.
Yeah, you have.
I think you have to take a chance.
Your 5 wins. You're most likely in the top 10. So if CJ Stroud,
Will
Bryce
Levis,
Young,
CJ Stroud. Yeah, one of those 3 guys has to be available.
And you could probably trade Zach Wilson for a decent draft pick too. So I say that you
could trade Zach Wilson for a bag of chips if they don't win another game this year.
Yeah, that's true.
I would trade Zach Wilson for Will if they don't win
on the podcast.
Yeah, but Will has to buy me a jersey before.
Wait, actually, jersey bet. Jersey bet. If we can trade
jersey bet, Wilson, if we trade for Zach Wilson, you have to buy me a jersey, Will.
No.
Well, why are you saying no to that?
What?
If we trade for Zach Wilson, if we get Zach Wilson to be a member of Inside the 5,
you're trading me for Zach Wilson.
We don't know all the details yet.
Yeah.
I gotta go to work. I'm on the phone right now. I'm making.
He's literally wearing a Jets jacket right now. He works for the team.
I'm showing love.
Let me
DMing Zach Wilson.
I'm gone, and then Zach Wilson's here.
No, that's just
don't know the specifics.
Yeah. For all we know, we can.
We haven't settled on a trade yet.
Yeah, we could trade Wix. We could trade the website. We could trade our website for Zach Wilson.
No, the website's gone.
They don't have to know that.
I would trade the website for Zach Wilson, but not me.
I don't think.
You don't want to be the starting quarterback of the New York Football Jets.
I'd probably do a better job than him, but
on record, Will is better than Zach Wilson at quarterback for the New York Football Jets. Imagine Will going to Gillette Stadium trying to call it an offense for the Jets against Bill Belichick-led defense. Or he has to go up to Buffalo
with 30 picks.
He has to go up to Buffalo in mid.
If they kept you in for a game, Will, and they gave you 20 attempts, how many are you completing?
1.
No.
Oh, wow.
Why did you even
ask? Why did you ask?
Yeah, why did you even ask me at that point?
You're going to be realistic. You weren't.
1?
0.
I think I get 1. The rest would probably be picks.
No.
It would be like a dump down.
No, I don't think I could complete a dump down in the NFL right now.
I think I could.
Yeah, I think
if I'm being honest, I mean, like
you have 20
all right,
attempts. I think you can get one. You can at least get one.
Maybe.
I think one is so realistic.
a completion is literally 1 inch forward.
If I get hit once, dude, I'm out of the game. I'm out like that.
Oh
that's
yeah, well that's besides the point. We're not, all right, hold on. Here's another scenario that I want to ask you guys. If you're given 20 attempts rushing the ball behind an offensive line, how many do you get?
What do you mean? How many yards do I get?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Negative 30.
Yeah, like what at the end? Like
no,
like
all right, hold on. Let me rephrase this
how
question.
many positive gains?
If you were given the ball 20 times in an offense, in a set offense, right? The defense doesn't know if a run's coming or whatever. You're just running that, right? But throughout the game, you get 20 attempts. Do you think you can accumulate at least 10 yards?
No.
I don't even think I make it past the
What
line
team
of
am I on?
scrimmage.
What team am I on?
You pick your team. So you could give yourself the best offensive line in the league. You're just the running back. You get handed the ball. Obviously, you know when you're getting handed the ball. The offensive line could do all the work. You literally just have to fall forward 2 yards like 5 times.
I think after the first attempt, if I
don't get hurt.
The line of scrimmage,
No, you don't get hurt. You don't have to worry about injuries.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm on the best if we're the Eagles and we're playing the Texans on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video, then I'm getting 20 yards or I'm getting 10 yards
on the call.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
I think I genuinely could get 10 yards on 20 attempts behind the best offensive line against the worst.
Dude, I'm nowhere close.
Hypothetically, no injuries.
No injuries as well.
See, my passing one,
and you have a fullback. You have a fullback.
Okay, then yeah.
My passing one was everything's a go. Like they know you're throwing the ball and you might get hurt.
Oh yeah, so that.
Mine was a real game situation.
Actually, Griff, I want to retake. I don't think I complete any passes now. Like I just think of it like
saying.
Like I'm just thinking of it, right? The defense knows the passes.
You're gonna be terrified. You throw a dump down, it's not gonna be accurate because you are scared. You're like, who the hell is behind me?
Not only that, it's like you literally have like a second to hit an open receiver, and you have to put it on the money, or the defense is gonna pick it off.
Do you have a football in your room, Will?
No,
I don't, but I have a basketball if that counts.
I don't have a football in my room either. Damn,
I was gonna say
let's see the throwing motion because I mean the pop times of these quarterbacks are like major league catchers. I mean we're throwing the ball, and when we throw the ball, we're not throwing as quick. I think if I throw an NFL football once in an NFL game, I will probably just hurt my shoulder just cause.
Did I ever tell you guys about the story about high school football practice one time so there was 1 week, right? And both of our quarterbacks were injured or whatever. They were in the training room, and scout team needed a quarterback, right? So I just stepped up. Like our defense, against our starting defense, and I started like completing passes, right? Like I was given the plays, I was just started dotting it up. And our coach is like, "What the hell is going on? Why is your defense sucking?" I'm like, "Coach, it's not the defense sucking. I'm just throwing absolute lasers." And I ended the defensive period by throwing a 40-yard touchdown on the dot. It was a streak. It was absolutely electric. It was on huddle. And
that was the highest of highs.
It's pretty close up there. I have a few others from high school football when I peaked. But actually, when was our senior year of high school? Was that 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago today? 3 years ago today?
No, 3.
Yeah, 3 years ago today, I caught 2 touchdowns in a game against Neshoba.
Today? Like at the exact
2
day
years ago today, yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Isn't that something?
Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, and ever since then, it's been
a steady decline. I mean, we're at rock bottom today after that finance exam, and I'm a finance major. It just we can talk about this later.
Welcome to rock bottom, Steve. I've been here for like a couple of years, dude, and I've just been.
Wait, hold on. It's been like a rocky ride. Like it's been like the stock market. We'll compare it to that. Like remember when I shot really well? I think I shot 9 over when we played at Green Hill that one time. That was a peak. That was really dope. Like I played awesome that day. But then for golf, it's gone downhill, and then like school and whatnot. So, anyways, back to football, right? So my lock of the week: Bills minus 12.5. Let's move on to an NFC matchup. How about that? We have the Minnesota Vikings, the NFC North champions as of right now, in Washington against the recently or looking to be sold Washington Commanders. Vikings are only favored by 3.5, and I love that. I got Washington plus 3.5 here, boys. I love Taylor Heineke. I love this offense when he plays. It's just absolutely fun to watch. And yeah, I got the Commanders plus 3.5. It's going to be hard for the Vikings to really get speed on this terrible field. And I think the Commanders are just used to this terrible conditions. So I got the Commanders plus 3.5. And I have
Minnesota
the over at 43.5. I'm sorry.
I got Minnesota minus 3.5 and the over. Also have my prop as TJ Hawkinson as an anytime touchdown scorer on Sunday. I think the Vikings just blow them out. I like Heineke. I like what he's doing, but I just think the Vikings just kill them. They're gonna start on Sunday.
And you have the over or the under, Will?
I got over. Because Heineke's good.
I'm gonna go.
Like, they'll get points.
I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna go with the Commies plus 3.5. I'm gonna take the under as well. And you know what is actually funny? Until like 3 minutes ago, I was like 100% on the Vikings. I was like, this is a legit test for the Vikings. This is a big game. Like if they win this against Heineke, who's 2-0 as a starting quarterback, then this is a big momentum shift for the Vikings going 7-1. Currently at 6-1 though. As I was talking to myself, like, oh yeah, this is a big game. The word "big game" kept popping up in my mind, and then I was like, wait, the quarterback is Kirk Cousins. So Washington money line. I'm gonna take the under as well. How about Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin parlayed?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my parlay.
I'll take that.
Yeah. That's what I like.
You said Washington plus 3.5, right?
Yes, Washington plus 3.5, the under, but Terry McLaurin, B-Rob, anytime touchdown parlay. And we'll move on to the next game while Stav is plugging those numbers in. We got Carolina at Cincinnati. Cincinnati favored by 7 points. Stav, this is your honorary team. The over-under set at 42.5. I'll let you get us started with this game.
I think Cincinnati wins this game, if I'm being straight up, but I don't think that they cover 7.5. I mean, we saw a really bad game out of the Bengals on Monday Night Football. They really do miss Jamar Chase, and as they should. I mean, I still think that this team is a good team. I think that they're competing between them and the Ravens, who's going to win the AFC North. I still think it just remains between them, but I have Carolina covering 7.5. I have the Bengals winning outright, but I have the over in this game as well. I think that some touchdowns are scored. T. Higgins, or no, never mind. I was
he thought he was like you said T. Higgins. You had T. Higgins in your mind, but once you said it out loud, we all knew like that wasn't gonna happen.
Well, I was about to say like, oh, T. Higgins is returning back to his college days in North Carolina, but Clemson is in South Carolina, and they're playing this game in Cincinnati. So like,
yeah. So like nothing.
It was a double no. Griff, what do you have?
I'm gonna go Carolina plus 7. This is a fraud test for Cincy. If Cincy loses this game, they're under 500. This team can't get it done without Jamar. Joe Burrow looks lost without his best friend, and Phillip, aka PJ Walker, is gonna go in there. I think he's gonna win the football game, and I'm gonna take the over as well. I actually do like Carolina to win this game. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
That's what I was going to say. I have Carolina plus 7, and I think they're going to win the game. I'm also taking the over. I don't know. I like PJ Walker. I like what they're doing. I think they win this game.
All right, next game on the list. This is a doo-doo game. I don't really want to talk about this game. We have the Vegas Raiders at the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just a bad jersey matchup, bad team matchup. I mean, I still like the Raiders, but I don't like this game. But I'm gonna go Vegas minus 1.5, and I'm gonna the under here. You see that stat that Trevor Lawrence is technically the worst first overall pick of all time right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Due to like percentages or something?
Yeah, due to winning percentages, he's like 5-20.
I mean, they haven't won. I mean, you threw in a bad situation last year, obviously, with Coach Urban. And this year, with a bit of a better coach, in my opinion, a Super Bowl winning coach, and they still stink, and they have the skill positions around them. ETN's been turning it up the last few weeks. But you're right, Stav. This game sucks. This team sucks. I'm going Vegas just because. I'm going to take the under. I think this is the worst game of the week, and I don't really want to talk about it.
Same thing. Next game.
Yeah, we're all just riding that. I don't.
Yeah,
this is just not even.
I don't even care, dude. Like I thought about taking Jacksonville, but then
we're
once
not
you
even going
said
to talk
Vegas,
about this game on the next episode either, unless something crazy happens.
We probably won't talk about this game.
Yeah. So sorry if you're a Vegas Raiders fan or a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, for all of you that are out there. All right, next game we have the Miami Dolphins at the Chicago Bears. The Dolphins are favored by 5 points. Over under set at 45.5. I said this when the Dolphins traded for Bradley Chubb and Jeff Wilson. I think that they're a top team in the AFC or the AFC in general. I think that they're competing with Buffalo now, and I think they're competing with Kansas City. You add an elite pass rusher, your pass rush makes your secondary a lot better. If you can get to the quarterback, your secondary looks a lot better. That's just a known fact. And now that you add another San Francisco 49ers running back to Mike McDaniel's system, you have both Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. This is literally the 49ers backfield of last year. And it's a successful backfield. And I got the Dolphins -5 here, and I have the over. I think that the Dolphins score 35, 40 points themselves.
I also have the Dolphins -5 in the over. I think they're just going to show, like, their moves that they made this trade deadline are going to show they're here to stay. They're making moves. They're good. I don't see why they won't be one of the best teams in the league and continue to be that way. So I got Dolphins.
I think if the Bears were playing almost any other team in the league, I would take them this week. I like the Bears this week, but 5 points really isn't a lot. And I mean, Miami with the moves they made kind of are going to ride off the momentum of those moves. I'm going to have to take Miami as well. Did you guys both take the over?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to take the under here. I think that a lot of points get scored by Miami, not a lot from Chicago. We saw Chicago kind of dump down on their defense. They don't really have anybody left. They picked up Claypool, and I think it's going to take a bit of time to get adjusted to it. They're going to try to force him the ball this week. It's not going to work. Miami's going to cover the spread, but I don't think Chicago puts up enough points to hit the over. I think this is going to be all Miami from start to finish.
I got two defensive props here that I'll bring up for the Dolphins. Bradley Chubb, anytime sack, and Xavier Howard, anytime interception. I'm going to parlay that. Not actually.
Okay, yeah. If you parlay, yeah, because I think Bradley Chubb to get a sack would be like minus like 250 or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm writing that down right now. I'm plugging that in.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'll move on to the next game. We got an NFC West matchup. Excuse me. Low-key game of the year for my Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to say it, and it's my lock of the week. Seattle +2 on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. It is disrespectful that you do not give the favorite to the better team. Seattle is the better team. They are way better than the Arizona Cardinals. I don't care that D-Hop's back. Kyler Murray is 4 inches shorter than me. That's crazy that he's an NFL quarterback. I still wouldn't complete a pass. I know it. But Geno Smith, NFC Offensive Player of the Month, Kenneth Walker, NFC Offensive Rookie of the Month, Tariq Woolen, NFC Defensive Player of the Month, Pete Carroll, my hero. Everything I've ever wanted to be is because of Pete Carroll. And he's going to go into Arizona. He loves Arizona. He has a place down in Scottsdale. I don't know that for sure, but he's in his 70s, so he's got to. He knows the area well. We're going to beat up the Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, a big bird game, and the Seahawks are going to come out victorious. Seahawks +2. I love them money line. I'd take an alt spread at -2. I'm going to take the over as well. Geno Smith throws 3 touchdowns in this game.
Well, I also have Seattle +2 and the over, and I think they win straight up. I would take them money line. I would take them possibly with +4. I would buy points. I don't care. Taking Seattle no matter what.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys with these. I'm taking you guys with the spread here. Seattle +2 it's kind of disrespectful in my opinion.
It's disrespectful because the thing is they're going to make the playoffs, but nobody actually thinks it. And it comes down to the people that actually know. And I know the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the NFC West this year. And everybody's going to be in shock. Something's going to happen down in San Francisco. LA is already out of the picture, and Arizona is just a bunch of losers. So, I mean, it's got to be the Seahawks. The stars are aligning. We have 3 monthly award winners in the second month of the year. And, I mean, we're riding on the highest.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was such a – I said third month of the year. Yeah.
It's the second.
It's a second. Yeah. Continue.
Sorry. But, I mean, 3 wins in a row. And how about that 3-game winning streak starting against the Arizona Cardinals? We went to SoFi. We beat the Chargers. We beat a tough Giants team, and they're still not showing us any love. We're going to beat Arizona, and then I'm already going to tell you my pick for the week after that. We're going to beat the Buccaneers, and everybody's going to realize that we're going to go into the bye week, and everybody's be like, wow, this team is going to make it.
Pete Carroll has Tom Brady's number. That I don't think that's a fact. Other than that one Super Bowl, I don't.
Yeah, they've only lost. He's only lost one game to Tom Brady. We're 3-1 or 2-1.
Yeah. Well,
3-1 because we beat you guys when you had Cam Newton. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the Patriots. I'm thinking of the Patriots. I'm sorry. I don't know the moves with the Bucks. I don't really like the Bucks, so I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, but anyways,
well, we beat Tom Brady out. We know what to do against them.
Like I said, I have the Seahawks +2, and I also have the under. I think it's an under type game just because it's a division rivalry. Everyone thought the over was going to slam the first time that these teams played, but it's just good defense being played.
Yep.
And I think the under is going to hit again. The over under sit at 49.5. That isn't really too much different from the previous time they played. I think the last time they played was week 6, right?
Week 6, it was 19-9.
And it was 50.5 was the over under in that. Shout out me and my Excel sheet for bringing that right up. But yeah, 49.5 is a lot of points to score. And I think in a divisional game, it's going to be hard to do that. So 49.5, I have the under in that.
All right. And yes, this is my lock of the week, by the way. Going on to the next game, we got the Rams taking on the Bucks. The Rams going up. The Bucks going up against an NFC West opponent. They'll be going up against 2 in a row. Both teams struggling. Both teams not really catching their stride. And just because of that, I'm going to take Tampa Bay -3. The over-under set at 49.5. I'm going to take the under here as well. I've got playoff Lenny getting into the end zone in this game. It's kind of a lock. He's been struggling all season long. This is a perfect game for Tampa Bay to go out, get a win, and people are like, wow, they beat the Rams. The Rams are a good team, but the Rams aren't actually a good team. This is kind of one of those fake good wins that kind of Tom Brady, what's the word to say? Tom Brady, like, fanboys are like, yeah, we just beat the Rams. Like, that's a big win. It's not even going to be a big win, but Tampa's going to win, and they're going to cover the spread as well. I'm taking the under.
Griff, I'm telling you with this, the Bucks have to win eventually, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that the fact that the Bucks are this bad, I don't think it really damages Tom Brady's legacy. Like, I think he's still going to be the GOAT, but I think that we see flashes of
LeBron's.
What?
What about LeBron's legacy?
No, he sucks. If the Bucks win this game, or if the Rams win this, hold up. If the Rams win this game, or Tampa Bay wins this game, it negatively impacts LeBron's legacy because he's friends with Tom Brady and he's from LA. So there's no positive correlation here. So, like, it's either, okay, you're rooting for your friend. Oh, but you're not rooting for your home team.
And he got carried by Matt Ryan.
Literally got carried by Matt Ryan.
Ryan they were looking for a big time 3 to go into overtime. They gave the ball to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was
I know that literally happened, and I'm laughing at it because, like, Matt Ryan.
It didn't. It didn't.
He played one game for us last year, and he's like the best player on the team.
Yeah,
he's their best shooter.
I mean, all right, hold up. This is going back into Lakers talk. I feel like we loved doing this, especially in like March of last year. But shout out Russell Westbrook, man. Like, coming off the bench, he's actually playing good basketball.
Oh, he's awesome.
So shout out Russ. I don't think I've been on record hating him or hating on him.
No.
And I look to continue that stretch. I like Russell Westbrook, and I think he deserves better.
Free
Russ, Tampa Bay -2.5, and I have the under because both these offenses suck for whatever reason.
I'm telling both you guys on the same picks. I hate this game. Next game.
It's 2 good teams that aren't actually good. It's no matter who wins this game, everybody's going to overreact and be like, wow, they beat a tough team, but they really didn't. Neither of these teams are good, and this game isn't a legit test for either side, in my opinion. I don't think that this really affects anybody's season. If anything, the best outcome would be Tampa Bay to win because I think they have the best chance of winning their division because the Falcons are first and they're sitting at 500. So, I mean, I guess you would want Tampa Bay to win. That would be the best decision. But if LA goes out and gets a big win here, it wouldn't be a big win. It's one of those, like I said, it's a big win in everybody else's eyes except for people that actually understand that neither of these teams are actually who they were in years prior. So we'll move on to the next game. two teams with pretty good records, right? Yeah, 5-2 teams. Tennessee, Kansas City, Sunday Night Football. Stav, the line set at Kansas City, minus 12.5, coming off a bye, over under at 45.5. What do you like here?
Under, or no, I'm sorry. I have the over here, and I have Tennessee plus 12.5. I love, I mean, Derek, it's Tractorcito season, as PFT says. And what did Derrick Henry get? 28 attempts rushing last week. And I think he's going to get 35 this week. I think this is going to be a flashback to his high school days. I think he's going to put up like 165 yards on the ground. He's going to put up like 2 touchdowns. And I think we see Malik Willis do a little bit more. I think we're going to see a little bit more of his mobility. I think they're going to start giving him some dump downs. I don't expect him to fully open up the playbook for the guy, but I assume he's starting, right? Or am I just talking out of my ass?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I expect him to do a little bit more with Malik Willis because you have to. You know, he's a starting quarterback for a reason right now. And you give him the playbook, you allow him to get a little dump downs, and I expect Derrick Henry to have one of those career games where it's like, oh shit, this guy's the best running back in the league. We forgot about him.
I like what you said there, stuff. I'm gonna say I agree. I have Tennessee plus 12.5 in the over. They've been sneakily winning games. I know a while back I said Tennessee sucks, but like they still suck, but like they're winning games. And so, I mean, I feel like this is one of those games. They're definitely not going to win, but I think 12.5 is enough for them to cover.
They're going to keep it close.
Yeah, I mean, they're winning games, but they're not beating any quality teams. And for that exact reason, I'm going to take my first big spread of the episode. I'm going to go, well, other than Philly, but that was a lock. I'm going to go Kansas City minus 12.5, solely just because you guys didn't pick them. And I'm going to take the over as well. I think that you're right about Derrick Henry. I think he runs the hell out of the ball. And before Will even started talking, I was going to take Tennessee, but right when Will took Tennessee, I was like, you know what? Let's switch it up here because I think this game could go either way. I know Kansas City's going to win this game. I don't know how much it's going to be by. They could easily win this game by at least 2 touchdowns. And the way that I'm seeing it, this is going to be a big game from Travis Kelce because when the other team's best player is going off, that's when Travis Kelce is like, okay, I need to match that. And he does that very well. He's one of the best football players in the league when it comes to kind of like comeback drives. Like when you need a drive put together, Travis Kelce's getting the ball 3 or 4 times. And I think we're going to see that a few times. Whatever Travis Kelce's receptions is at, I'll check it later. Stop. Just write it down right now. I'm taking his over in receptions. I'm on the website right now. I can look at it, but we can move on to the next game.
It's with the next game, it being our final game, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the New Orleans Saints. Ravens playing on Thursday. It's like a mini bye week in a way. You know, you play Thursday.
It is a mini bye. It is a mini bye. It's a mini bye. I mean,
And
it's an official mini bye.
They go to New Orleans this week to face the New Orleans Saints. The Ravens are favored by 2.5 points on the road. Over under set at 48, which is pretty high. Will, what do you have here? I'll let you go first.
I got the Ravens minus 2.5 in the over. I actually didn't even think about Rashad Bateman being out, but he hasn't really been putting up numbers for them out for the season too. Hasn't really been putting up numbers for them in general, but I think this is just one of those games. Lamar pulls everything out of the bag. He does his thing, and they get the win here.
I'm going to take New Orleans plus 2.5. As much as Will thinks Rashad Bateman isn't a weapon, he is still the best weapon on that team, on the offense, other than Mark Andrews. J.K. Dobbins also out. This is a game where we might see Deshaun Jackson starting, and that's not a good sign for Baltimore. I want to say it's either 16 or 6, somewhere 16 with a decimal point. In terms of yards per reception for Rashad Bateman this season. Like you said, Will, he hasn't got a lot of receptions, but he's the guy when it's come down to
100%.
plays. They don't have that. I think New Orleans runs the hell out of the ball. Taysom Hill is going to be a large part of this win. And New Orleans really hasn't been doing too bad under Andy Dalton. The offense has been looking pretty good. Michael Thomas getting surgery for his toe, by the way, is on the IR. And we talked about on the episode a couple of weeks ago, my fantasy trade, I received Kenneth Walker and Damian Harris, and I gave up Miles Sanders and Michael Thomas. That's a W trade officially.
Yeah. 100%.
That's a W trade official because Michael Thomas hasn't played since, and I think he's going to be out for the season after this.
No, he is. I think
I traded Rashad Bateman for an unnamed player that I will not mention on the podcast, but a few weeks back, and
unnamed player mentioned.
Well, I traded him for Deshaun Watson, and he's out for the season.
Oh.
So it's like an even trade, W trade.
I don't know. Yeah, no comment.
Yeah,
No
okay.
comment.
I have it's you should have just said Deshaun Watson. And then we would have looked at each other for a second, but then like not said anything if you just
Coming back
continued
week
on.
13, by the way, Deshaun Watson. They whoever is like big over for the Browns, who are like the GM or whoever. I don't care about the Browns, so I don't know anything about them. They said once he is eligible to play, he's going to be the starting quarterback. They said that this week.
Yeah, don't blame him. I got the Saints plus 2.5 here, and I have the over. I just think of when you think of the Saints playing in prime time, like obviously in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, you just think electricity, right? You think wins. When you think abundant.
Superdome.
Whoops. You think of Drew Brees breaking records on Monday Night Football, but you always think of the Saints winning games on Monday Night Football, and I think that continues. And I mean,
like that.
It's hard when you don't have a start like your number one receiver playing, especially that first game when you're trying to adjust the other guys stepping up one in that depth chart. I mean, obviously Mark Andrews is dealing with an injury, but when he's going to be the sole focus for that Saints I think the Saints defense is pretty good. I mean, they've let up some points, but I think overall they're good. They're talented, and I think that it's going to be a tough game for the Ravens. But I got the Saints plus 2.5 here.
Nice. And you like the over or the under?
I said the over. Yeah, we all have the over. Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it.
Wait,
for
hold
this
on.
episode. Okay.
We forgot to mention the greatest Hail Mary of all time. This
in Madden.
Yeah, we could have just whatever. But I'm going to break it down play by play, right? So, fourth quarter, down 21-14, right? We score a touchdown with 40 seconds left, right? We go for two, and they return it back, make it 23-20. They get the ball back too. We're down 3. And we have all 3 timeouts, though, which is huge. Clock management is huge, right? So they run the play, whatever. We stuff them. 2nd and 10. We stuff them again. 3rd and 10. They run a crazy, like, pitch option play, right? And we stop them. It's 4th and 2. With 18 seconds left, they punt it back to us. And we try to get a good return. We bring it to, the 35?
Something like that.
Like their 30 or our 35. So we have 8 seconds left, no timeouts, and I'm just sitting there. I'm using Tyreek. Griff is our quarterback, and I'm like, Griff, the only shot we have here is just Tyreek Hill deep, right? So Griff steps up, throws a ball 68 yards in the air, and I've mossed my opponent, or the guy who's covering me, stiff arm the next guy, and get into the end zone for a game-winning touchdown. I don't think I've had that crazy of a reaction in my entire life. That was the most absolutely electric play in Madden history, and that will be posted on the YouTube very soon and on the TikTok for the viewers to enjoy.
Yeah, and I want to say a couple of things. Will was also usering on the left side. Deebo Samuel took the free safety out of the play. You still mossed the strong safety, but Will did have a corner and a safety on him. Will took him out of the play. And I want to say probably top 2 craziest moments that's ever happened to me in Madden. Top 1 craziest moment that's ever happened in Madden, Will, is on our YouTube channel, on the Inside 5 YouTube channel, where we threw a Hail Mary to get into field goal range. It didn't go through, but we got a pass interference. We kicked a field goal to bring it into OT. They got the ball in OT, Stav, and on the opening kickoff, hit stick, user force fumble. We pick up the ball. We win the game. It was the crazy.
Okay, hold. I'm gonna watch that.
You have to watch the video. That was a good video.
I
need to post the video on YouTube.
Possibly. I watched back all those games.
Our week 5 preview from 3 weeks ago was our most viewed video.
Oh, wow. So yeah.
But is it Madden Ultimate Team Squads episode 1?
Yeah, there's a playlist. There's a playlist.
There's a few. We should bring it back.
Oh, we should definitely continue it. It's the first episode though, right?
I don't think it was the first. It wasn't the first episode.
There's only 2.
Oh no.
Yes.
No, there's only 2 episodes. Is it just Mutt Seasons or Mutt Squads? Because Mutt Seasons is Griff solo.
Oh.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the playoffs. Peace.
Mutt Squads.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, Mutt Squads episode 1 is the most viewed video.
Yes. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, we can talk about this off camera. How about we wrap up the episode here?
Yeah, Griff here.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry, we're going along on a little bit of a rant, but we're going to be getting some Mutt Squads episodes back up on that YouTube channel. We hope you guys enjoyed. As
Nice offense,
always,
Will.
we will catch you guys next week, and peace.
Peace.